Rome likes to pretend it was civilized. Tonight, you're going to see what happened when civilization decided its daughters were currency. No battlefield, no trial, no choice. Just a knock on the door, and a system that turned teenage girls into state revenue. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you'll understand why for some women under Caligula, death would have been mercy. Alright, you are Flavia, daughter of a Roman citizen with no name. You're 14 years old. It's winter, 39 AD, Rome, and the city is holding its breath. You notice it before you hear anything. No shouting from taverns, no carts, no laughter. Just quiet, thick, wrong, pressing against the walls of your house. Your father is awake. That alone tells you something is wrong. Roman fathers sleep through storms. They don't sleep through fear. You lie on your bed staring at the ceiling, counting heartbeats because that's the only thing you can still control. You've grown up hearing Rome is the center of the world, that Romans are free, that Romans rule. Tonight, you feel hunted. Then you hear it. Sandals. Heavy. Even. Metal biting stone. Hobnails. Praetorian boots. You whisper a prayer you haven't used since childhood. Let them pass. Let them go next door. Let this house stay invisible one more night. They stop, right outside your gate. There's no shouting, no threat. Just a knock, slow, certain. The knock of men who don't need permission. Cold air floods the atrium when the door opens. Torch smoke, oiled leather, authority. A centurion stands there calm, polished. He doesn't reach for his sword. He doesn't have to. He hands your father a scroll sealed in purple wax. Imperial seal. Your father's hand shakes so hard the wax flakes onto the floor. He reads. Once, then again, like the words might change if he looks long enough. They don't. He turns toward you. Tries to smile. It's the worst thing you've ever seen. That smile says everything he can't. That he tried. That he failed. That he cannot save you. It's called an invitation. But in Rome, when the emperor invites you, it's not a choice. It's a sentence. Tonight, you're going to the palace. They let you dress. Not because they're kind, because appearances matter. Rome always dresses its cruelty well. You walk past the household shrine, past the place you played as a child, past the doorway where your mother is standing, hands clenched so tight her nails draw blood. No one stops you. Rule number one of surviving Rome. When power comes for you, resistance only changes how fast it hurts. Outside, the city watches from behind shutters. Every noble house is awake. Every family listening for footsteps, praying the sound keeps moving. Yours didn't. You're led uphill toward the Palatine, toward marble and firelight and places people whisper about but never name. Someone calls it the Garden of Venus. You don't know what that means yet. You will. Before you reach it, you need to understand the man who summoned you. Caligula was not born a monster. He was born a miracle. His real name was Gaius, son of Germanicus, the Golden General, Rome's favorite hero. Soldiers adored him. The people adored him. As a child, Caligula wore a tiny uniform, tiny boots. The legions laughed and cheered. They called him Little Boot, cute, harmless. But you don't grow up harmless in a military camp. You grow up watching men bleed. You learn that power decides who lives, that weakness gets buried, that love is temporary. When Caligula was 7, his father died far from Rome, slowly, suspiciously, and the world that protected him vanished. After that, his family didn't just fall, they were erased. His mother beaten, exiled, starved, his brothers hunted, imprisoned, destroyed. Caligula survived by disappearing inside himself. No tears, no anger, no reactions. Because in Rome, showing pain is an invitation to be killed. Then came Capri. 6 years living with the man who ruined his family. Smiling, laughing, watching things no child should see and pretending it didn't matter. Historians say he was the perfect servant. They're right. And Rome never asks what that kind of obedience costs. By the time Caligula became emperor, the boy was gone. What remained knew one thing with absolute clarity. There are no rules, only power. And tonight, standing barefoot in the cold, surrounded by guards, you are about to learn what that means for you. Because the knock wasn't the worst part. The palace is next. You're inside the palace now. The doors close behind you, thick wood swallowing the outside world like it never existed. The cold stays on your skin. Marble does that. It remembers nothing. They separate you from your father immediately. No explanation. No goodbye. A guard gently, but firmly, turns him away. You don't fight it. You already know fighting is useless here. You're led through corridors that smell like roses layered over something sour. Old wine. Old sweat. Old fear. The palace is beautiful in the way a blade is beautiful. Polished. Expensive. Meant to cut. They take you into a room with no windows. Other girls are already there. You recognize them. That's the worst part. The daughter of a senator your father dines with. A general's wife you've seen at festivals. Girls who grew up protected by names that used to mean something. No one speaks. Eyes stare forward. Hands grip fabric. Someone is shaking and trying to hide it. Slaves enter. Not rough. Efficient. They remove your stola. The heavy wall that marks you as respectable. As untouchable. As Roman. Gone. They dress you in silk so thin it barely counts as clothing. They paint your face. Darken your eyes. Color your lips. The kind of makeup you were warned never to wear. Because decent women don't look like this. Rule number 2 of surviving Rome. Your status lasts only as long as power allows it. You're led out again. This part of the palace is different. Louder. Warmer. Lamps everywhere. Curtains of purple and gold. Couches arranged like this is a party. Men are arriving. Not senators. Not nobles. Commoners. Freedmen. Merchants. Soldiers on leave. Anyone with coins. Caligula invited them. Come, he said. Spend. Enjoy. Serve the state. You're placed in a narrow space. A cubicle. Above you hangs a small sign. Your price. You don't need to read it to understand. This is what you are now. Currency. Let me explain something they don't teach you in school. Rome didn't just conquer lands. It conquered dignity. And Caligula understood that better than anyone. He walks through the garden openly. Laughing. Talking. Touching shoulders. Thanking customers for supporting Rome's finances. The emperor of the world is managing a brothel. He stops near you, looks you up and down like he's inspecting furniture, makes a comment to the man beside him. They laugh. You keep your face still. Inside, something collapses quietly. Men approach. Some hesitate. Some don't. Some won't look you in the eye. Others look too long. You think you might faint. You don't. You think you might scream. You don't. Because here's the truth that hits hardest. The room is designed so no one has to force you. The guards are visible. The rules are clear. Compliance is survival. And if this is the kind of history you can't look away from, you should subscribe to Candlelit History now. Because stories like this don't get taught. They get buried. Time blurs. Lamps flicker. Coins change hands. You stop counting. Then, music. The sound drifts in from the dining hall. A banquet. Your father is in there. You know it before you're told. You can feel it. The way your chest tightens. The way shame finds a new, deeper place to live. Caligula likes to eat while this happens. He invites the husbands, the fathers, makes them drink, makes them laugh, makes them sit still while the palace works. At some point, the music stops. You hear footsteps leaving the hall. Heavy, confident. Caligula is coming this way. And now you understand this was never about money. It was about breaking everyone at once. You, your family, Rome itself. and he hasn't even reached you yet. But finally, he reaches the corridor. The music behind him dies. Chairs scrape. No one speaks. You feel it before you see him. The way the room tightens, like everyone just inhaled at once. Caligula steps into the garden like he owns the air, because he does. He's smiling, relaxed, wine on his breath. Silk robe loose like this is leisure, not terror. He looks pleased with himself in the way people do when they know there are no consequences coming. He doesn't rush, he walks. Slowly, stops, looks, comments, not quietly. He talks about bodies the way merchants talk about fabric, texture, quality, value. He laughs when men laugh. He corrects them when they don't. Then he disappears back toward the dining hall. And that's when it gets worse, because now the waiting starts. You know what's happening on the other side of the wall. You don't need details. The silence does enough damage on its own. Minutes pass. 10. 20. The lamps burn low. Someone nearby starts crying and doesn't even try to stop. Then footsteps return. Caligula re-enters the hall loudly, deliberately. He wants them to hear him before they see him. He doesn't sit down right away. He talks. He describes. He critiques. And somewhere at that table is your father, or your husband, or both, sitting upright, eating, drinking, smiling. Because here's rule number 3 of surviving Caligula. Your dignity is optional. Your obedience is not. If they look away, they die. If they speak, they die. If they stop smiling, they die. There was a man once, pastor, a noble, respectable, loyal. Caligula had his son killed in the morning. That evening, pastor was invited to dinner. He came. He drank every toast. He laughed at every joke about his dead child. He thanked the emperor for the honor of being included. Why? Because he had another son. That's how Caligula ruled. Not by killing everyone. By making sure the survivors hated themselves more than they hated him. Eventually, the night breaks apart. Some women are dragged away in the confusion. Some are left trembling in corners. Some disappear into rooms you never see again. Then, shouting. Real shouting. Boots running. Not measured this time. Fast. Panicked. Someone screams. Steel rings against stone. The garden freezes. No one knows what's happening. That's the most terrifying part. Is this another test? Another joke? Another punishment? Then the truth spreads in fragments. Caligula is dead. Killed in a tunnel beneath the palace. For one breathless moment, hope flashes through you. Sharp. Dangerous. Is this rescue? No, it's chaos. The German guards, huge men loyal only to Caligula, lose control. They draw swords. They rush the halls. They don't ask questions. They kill conspirators. They kill servants. They kill people who are simply there. Doors burst open. Women scream. Some are struck down where they stand. Others are grabbed in the confusion by men who decide the rules are gone now. Rule number 4 of surviving Rome. When order collapses, the vulnerable pay first. Somehow, you survive. Morning comes like nothing happened. Claudius, Caligula's uncle, is declared emperor not because anyone chose him, but because the guards needed a new paycheck. The palace quiets. The Garden of Venus is closed. You're released. Not saved. Released. They send you home. That walk through Rome is worse than the night. People look at you, then look away. Not in sympathy, in judgment. Because Rome does not care why something happened to you, only that it did. And in Rome, damage sticks. You return to a house that feels smaller, quieter, ashamed. No one speaks of the palace again, ever. And that silence will last longer than Caligula did. And after all that, you're home now, that's what they call it. The door closes behind you, and the house exhales like it's been holding its breath since the night you left. Slaves avert their eyes. Family members speak softly, like loud voices might bring the palace back. No one asks what happened, not because they don't want to know, Because they already do. Rome has rules for this part. You're taken to the back rooms, the ones guests never see. Curtains drawn, windows half shuttered. You're given food, clean clothes, a bath that scrubs your skin but can't touch the feeling underneath. You are alive, which, apparently, is supposed to be enough. Your father avoids your eyes, not out of anger, out of shame. Because every time he looks at you, he remembers the night he smiled at a centurion, the night he drank wine while the emperor spoke about you like an object, and he has to live with that memory in the same house as you. So you both learn silence. That's how Rome buries things. No trials, no apologies, no laws passed to protect anyone like you. The Senate debates politics.